Guess what we're doing today? Memphis is like, oh my gosh, guys, there's stuff up there that smells so good. So good. So today we thought we would make something a little bit different, something we haven't shown you guys how to make on this channel as of yet. We are going to make beef bone broth for dogs. So bone broth is something that you can use. You can add it to their food as a topper. You can, if you use like a dehydrated raw or any type of dehydrated food topper, you can add it to that. Bone broth has a lot of really good benefits to it. There's a lot of collagen in it, a lot of good stuff that your dogs need. So we are going to make some bone broth. So I do want to clarify real quick before I get into this. I am not a nutritionist. If you don't feel safe feeding your dogs the things we show you, then you don't have to. Bone broth is one of those things that is basically considered like a, I don't know what you would call it. It's a nutritional powerhouse for dogs. It has a lot of amino acids and vitamins and minerals and a lot of things that dogs need. So we are going to go ahead and make this. As I said, we are making a beef bone broth. So I have femur bones. If you can find them cut up, they're going to work a little bit better. I have 2 big ones and then 2 cut up ones. So you're going to need your bones. You're going to need a slow cooker or a very large pot. You can simmer this over the stove, but you have to do it for 24 hours. So a slow cooker is probably best. So you need the bones, you need some dogs, of course. We need some seasonings, which I will go through momentarily. And then we are going to need some water and some apple cider vinegar. And I am using organic apple cider vinegar, the raw apple cider vinegar. That's going to go in there as well. Let's see what these girls, you would take this right out of my hand, wouldn't you? They're both like, can I have the bone? Let me get a little piece of this off of here. Little piece off, little piece off. What do you think? Shelby's like, put it on the ground, I'll eat it. Put it on the ground so I can eat it. This is gonna go in your bone broth. It's gonna go in your bone broth. I know you'd eat it just like that, wouldn't you? You sure would. So the first thing we're going to do is take all of our bones and place them into our slow cooker. Now I am using a 6-quart slow cooker in case you're wondering. So we're just gonna pack all these in here and fill this thing right up. I almost forgot. Before I add the water, I am going to add a little bit of chicken liver. I know I said this is beef bone broth, but I am going to add a little bit of chicken liver as well. Just gives it a little bit of taste. And again, liver is really good for dogs as well, so it'll give it some more of that nutritional stuff in there. What do you think? I'm going to add that in real quick. Your noses are just a-going, aren't they? You girls are just ready. So now that we have all of our bones in our slow cooker, we are going to fill it with water, and you want to fill it to just above where the bones are. So now that we have our bones in there and the juice filled to the brim, we are going to add our vinegar. Now for a crock pot this size, you want to add between 3 to 4 tablespoons of vinegar. The vinegar is really what's going to help break down the marrow inside those bones. So because mine is so full, I'm going to go ahead and use a full 4 tablespoons. And again, you want to use apple cider vinegar. I'm using raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Now the next thing we're going to do is add some spices. This is optional. You don't have to do this, or you can add what you feel comfortable with and don't add what you don't feel comfortable with. The first thing I'm going to add to this is a little bit of basil, between a half a tablespoon and a full tablespoon of basil. Basil is one of those spices that is known to have like antibacterial, anti-cancer. There's a lot of different things. It's supposed to be healthy for dogs' livers, reduces pain and inflammation. So we're going to add a little bit of that. The next thing I'm going to add, and I'm only going to use a little sprinkle of it, is coriander. And that is basically like, it's one of those spices that has, it helps like detoxify their bodies, and it's anti-diarrheal, and it eases intestinal gas. So if you have dogs that can get upset stomach easily, it kind of helps out with that. You don't want to give it to your dogs if they are pregnant. I'm only going to add about a teaspoon of it, just a little bit. And the last spice I'm choosing to add is, I always say it wrong, it's turmeric, I don't know how to say it. I probably say it wrong every single time. What do you think? Are you smelling that already? You have to be careful when giving this to your dog, because if your dogs have any type of blood disorders, it can work as a blood thinner, so you don't want to give it to your dogs if they have any type of blood disorder. Always, always, always talk to your vet before giving your dogs anything you don't know or understand. Shelby and Memphis both get turmeric every morning in little treat forms that goes on their breakfast. Supposedly it has anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, helps heal the gut, improves brain function, supposed to help with arthritis. So supposedly does all those things. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of that as well. Probably about a tablespoon. Well, that looks pretty. Now we're going to kind of stir all these things in. And we're going to set this for 24 hours. And it will be done in 24 hours. We'll show you the next steps after that. Now the waiting starts. But camera magic, it'll look like it happened so super fast. And in case I didn't mention it, you want to cook it on low for 24 hours. Memphis is like, is this bone broth done yet? So our bone broth has been cooking currently for about 20 hours. I'm going to cook it for another 8 hours overnight tonight. I will show you what I've already taken out. A couple of the bones that I put in already have, you can't chew on this because it'll splinter, already are see-through. All of the marrow and everything has come out. I left the 2 big ones, still needed a little bit more time, and 2 of the small ones also still hadn't like completely fallen through, which is okay if they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But for the next 8 hours, I thought I would add a little bit more goodness to the mix. Let me show you what we're going to add. I'm going to go ahead and add some frozen carrots, just to give it a little bit more, good for you vegetables. And it's a good way to get Shelby to eat some carrots since she doesn't like carrots. Memphis, on the other hand, would probably eat this frozen carrot without an issue. Yep. She'd eat a frozen carrot without issue. So anyway, I'm going to put these in there for the last 8 hours or so. And then in the morning, we'll finish showing you what to do. So now that our bone broth has cooked for around 30 hours or so, I am actually going to take and strain it through a strainer just to make sure there's no little fine, sharp bones in there or anything like that. So what I'm doing is I'm slowly scooping it out and into here. If you use the turmeric, remember it does turn things yellow, and again, you don't have to use it. I did find out you can actually add it right at the end if you want to, but here's 2 of the ones I've scooped out already. And then we're going to let these cool because they're going to separate a little bit and there'll be a layer of like fat on the top that we're going to take off. What do you think? She's like, I think I just want to eat it. I really just want to eat it. It smells amazing and I just want to eat it. How about you? You coming to check it out too? I think it'll be ready for you to have on your lunch. What do you think? We'll find out. Alright, it's in the containers. Now it's just got to cool. You can tell it's already separating. So all that top stuff is going to cool and we're going to take it out of there. And then the bottom should be like bone broth jello, right? Bone broth jello. Alright, last step. So I've put this in the fridge for a little bit, and as you can see, there's this nice yellow layer of fat on top. We're just going to go ahead and take all that off because they don't need all this extra fat. So we're going to scoop that off, and these dogs are so ready to try this. Alright, so I think they're going to try it. Shelby's like, wait, what's going on? Do I finally get to try it? Here, I'll set it down. I know you're going to push the bowl around. What do you think? What do you think? Oh my gosh, is that the best stuff ever? Alright, well you get to try it now, and then in a little bit I'll put a little bit on your dinner. Although I think they both really, really like it. Memphis is like, more, I want more. Let me get all this on the floor that I spilled on the floor. Are you ready for more of this? So I'm going to put about a tablespoon or 2 on each of the dogs' food for their dinner. For those of you wondering, currently they are still eating the Wellness Core Raw Rev. Might be switching it soon here. Haven't decided yet. But there we go. Also, I wanted to point out, this didn't turn out as, it's not super thin, but it's not super thick either. It didn't turn out as collagen-y as I'd hoped, but I don't think I had enough collagen-y bones since I only had the femur bones. So we're going to make another version of this eventually and show you how to make it a little bit differently than this time. So this was the beef bone broth. So favorite this video so you can make beef bone broth. And then make sure you're subscribed so you can see the next time we make a different type of bone broth. Really? You have anything else to say? You're hungry? You're hungry? Okay, let's do this. Oh my goodness, you're bouncing up a storm. Bouncing up a storm. Can you sit? Can you sit for 2 seconds? Okay, it's hard to do this with one hand, but there's yours and there's yours. And I think it is a win. So again, bone broth can be used. You can use it in recipes that call for broth. You can just substitute it for bone broth if you want, and then it can also be used as a food topper. You can also give it to them as is, freeze it in ice cubes, however you want to give it to your dogs. My dogs are enjoying it, as you can see. And yes, Shelby has a new wrap on with a heart. She gets that off, what, a week from the day this video goes up. She'll be able to get that off and get her stitches out. So if you're not following us on Instagram, check us out at instagram.com/gonetothesnowdogs for more real-time updates about Shelby's foot. That's all we have for you guys today. Let us know down below what you want to see us make next. Again, there will be a playlist up above and down in the video description below to all of the other treat videos we have made, so be sure to check those out. As always, you guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, stay positive, dream big, we will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience.
Turn around and roll over, snow dog. Sing a song with your sweet voice. I know you've